Where are the shadows in Shadowvault? I believe this is a good box, but there's one major disappointment. I would even consider it a huge one, because it sort of put me off for the rest of this proclaimed season. I believe a lot of people has already commented on how soon this box is out, and if you want a in-depth analysis of the teams, this is not it. This is merely the words from a super casual gamer who can view things in the light of not picking each box up. Because believe it or not, there are quite a few of us. But most importantly, I want to talk about the terrain a bit. I think I like the teams. There are only a few parts of the Necrons that I find aesthetically pleasing, but there's no shame in this team. I think they're a good addition. They seem to be very Warp Coven-ish, which I think it's a niche that's kind of lacking at the moment, so I really welcome that. And I have no problems with them being an upgrade sprue either. I think I kind of like those actually. For people like me who have no previous 40k models, it does not really matter if the base of the model is a 40k unit. And for the other circle of people who are like me, who cannot resist to kit bash all of the teams, it does not really matter if the team is regular 40k either. You can then certainly figure out that for people like me who are in both these circles, it does not matter the slightest that they are not new models. Beyond that, as I have no interactions with 40k, I never thought of the thing that Tabletop Impulse pointed out a while ago. That there is also the benefit that basing them on the regular 40k units, you have a sort of guarantee that the kill team unit will be coherent in lore and gameplay with their 40k kin. It does not matter directly for me, but a healthy game needs to have a solid base of players. And I believe that the 40k community is several orders of magnitude bigger than Kill Team. So it's wise to keep that bond. The Kasrkin, on the other hand, are quite obviously brand new. But in function, they're pretty much yet another team. I suppose they're pretty much what they claim to be, elite vet guard. I did however expect them to be yet a bit more elite. Sure, they have one more eye of armor save and the elite points, in practice giving them better than 4+ to hit. But still, I mean, they only have 7 wounds and you could almost use the vet card list when you build your roster. I think I would have preferred a 8 or 9 model team with at least 8 wounds, to fill that middle ground a bit. With that whining out of the way, I think those elite points look very interesting actually. It does feel very elite to be able to influence the outcome when you actually need it. And it will be very interesting to find out how they perform in the wild. So yeah, all in all, the teams do look very interesting. Except that I aesthetically like the Kroot better, these teams really look more interesting than those in Into the Dark. I get it that this one sold out, because if you already got the rules and all the gadgets, this box is actually a better close quarter starter. It has even got almost identical terrain. Yeah, this seems rather odd. Sure, you get a sentry gun instead of whatever was in the dark on that little extra sprue, but the rest is quite literally the same. So if you buy both boxes, you now have twice as much terrain as you can fit on your board. That could be useful. I suppose they want people to scale up, to play this new boarding action type of game, where I understand that you play on a board that's twice as big. It does make sense that there should be a full ladder of board game sizes. Kill Team board, well, it does feel like the lower bound of how small a board can be for 28mm figures to get some position action going. And I do get it that they want people to scale up to the larger boards, as they require a large amount of miniatures bought. But still, it rhymes so badly with the expectations that at least I got when this season was announced. There was something about the entire season containing coherent terrain to amass to a full collection of this world. It does sound very nice, and I must admit that I was tempted to buy Into the Dark in order to not to miss out on this full set. Now I'm happy I did not. I certainly have no need for 4 sets of spaceship walls. That would be rather obvious, I guess. So what did I expect? Well, given the description, I saw 2 likely scenarios. Or perhaps not likely, but, you know, 2 nice paths that I was hoping for. The first and most obvious, at least to me, would be that it would be different areas of the Space Hulk in each box. It would start out with regular spaceship corridors Into the Dark, and then move on to some other areas in the following boxes. Perhaps Shadowvaults would take place down in some kind of engine room, and Soul Shackle would be in the cargo bay, so that you can mix and match terrain with an overall coherent theme, but each part gives weight to certain aspects. Perhaps the large solid engine pieces in Shadowvault would make some impassable terrain, but with a little second floor where you can go up and shoot, and in the cargo bay could offer more open spaces, perhaps. That would be nice, but no. We will not leave the comfort of the entry level. I hope that the kicker sprue in the next box will contain a small self-playing piano to keep us entertained in the lobby. The other part I saw was that the further the season went on, the darker things got. Looking at the names, you get the familiar feeling that they use a name generator with, 50 words like dark, duty, God, honor, and so on. But it does feel that there is an increasing desperation in the names there. Into the Dark contained pretty orderly spaceship interiors. And then, as we progress further into the Space Hulk, things get darker and even more sinister and corrupt. Finally, in Gallowfall, these poor fellows will be fighting in a chaotic mess of lethal, twisted and rotten metal. Coming to think about it, these 2 parts are actually by no means exclusive. To press further into the Space Hulk will bring you to different parts, each more corrupt than the last one. But neither seems to be happening, so my thought does not really matter anyway. To end on something slightly more positive, I suppose that with some creative thinking, you could at least achieve the second part on your own. I mean, what else are you going to do with 4 sets of spaceship walls? Thank you for watching, and until next time, don't forget to enjoy your hobby.